We are so excited. It is the long weekend here where we live, and the four of us are all home together, and we have a whole bunch of really fun outdoor stuff we want to work on this weekend. So fingers crossed the weather is nice for us. But tonight we're gonna have a little bonfire, enjoy our time together, and we're gonna get some of our first fencing posts in the ground because we have the most insane week next week. We have all of the wood for all of our fencing, our coops, our area for our small animals like the turkeys, ducks, and chickens. It's all arriving next week. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. Let's do this.
See the ocean, how it sways in the sun, keeping our stories in its motion.
All the front ones
Lies
in the holes.
truth about us. Things time will tell, we might never know. We'll be gone before it all begins. Send me your songs of tomorrow. Dying to know.
Nice day.
Smooth operator.
Oh yeah, Dayton. Let's go.
We'll meet you down there.
You did it. Good job, Dayton. Woo!
To know it all.
We have all of the small animal area paddocks, all with the posts in the holes. There are some behind this tree line here as well. We have these all in, and we're ready now to measure them, level them in, dig them into the holes. I'll show you around this way. So over here, there's going to be a big double wide gate there. Show you the back part. So you can see we have the post going all the way around, and then in the middle of the areas here, we have posts that are the separators, so that we can create 3 different areas. So you can see we have some posts that go kind of across and in, and then it'll go across there. So we are rolling with these posts. Now we get to put them all in the ground. Not only are we so excited to have the fencing done, but I think this is amazing that we get to make this all together as our family. And Philip and the boys did all the logs to get ready, and we're gonna work on build this all together. So years down the road, we can look out and be like, we made that together for all of our farm friends. And so I think it's gonna be a really big accomplishment that we get to do it all together. And then because we've gone for the route of getting the milled lumber for our slats, this week actually, just like when we ordered wood before from a homesteading family, we ordered wood from someone else who also canceled on us this time. So we've luckily found someone else who's going to do all of the wood. Not only we're gonna get it a little bit cheaper, we're gonna get it faster than we originally were gonna get it. So sometimes things happen for a reason. Sometimes things are blessings in disguise. And so this week, literally Wednesday, we get to get all of the wood that we need for the entire first paddock and our 3 small paddocks here for the small animals. It's gonna be a big week. So we spent the last 2 days outside getting all of those posts into the ground and getting everything ready and organized so that we can have all of that wood dropped off this week. It's literally coming Wednesday. We're going to have our friend go and take us with this huge trailer, pick up all of the wood, bring it back so that hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get the small paddocks for those 3 animals as well as the horses paddock number 1 done before I go off on my surgery. So that is the goal, is to be able to have those animals completely situated and out and have a happy, relaxing summer in their new spaces before that happens. So fingers crossed we can get that done. We're gonna work as hard as we possibly can to get all of that installed. It might not be painted yet. We'll probably wait till early fall to paint everything the white that it's going to be, like the front. You saw we finished the front last week. It's gonna be all cohesive through the whole property. That was a huge job over Thursday, Friday. So we then spend the entire night up until 1 o'clock in the morning emptying the original studio space that was downstairs in the original dining room of this old house. That room is gigantic, and that craft room can get so out of hand. And I wanted to sacrifice that space and move into this smaller bedroom space that's upstairs, because not only that room does get out of hand, but also we are working on a massive transformation in that room. A few months back, you saw we started to renovate this room, which has just been drywalled behind me. There were no walls in this room because we were going to make a gaming / movie room for the boys. And we kind of halted the project because we got word that we were going to be able to do a really fun collaboration and be able to make an epic space for the boys. So we didn't finish this space and waited to make sure that all of the information and everything we were going to do for that contract was going to be in place before we made any drastic relocating in the house here. But we are now ready to work on this secret project. So while I'm working on this craft room space and the fencing, the boys barely ever go in my studio room. So we're gonna keep that room closed, work on this massive surprise for the boys, creating them a movie gaming room down in that studio space, and then surprise them in the end. It's gonna be amazing. The boys are gonna freak out. And this is the first delivery of the things we need to work on that space.
If you need me up there, just let me know.
Oh, it should be all right. Might need you to press a button, though.
Yeah, I can do that. Oh my gosh, this is happening.
Does this mean we can start our project now?
You're hired, Phil. I literally can't imagine their faces when they see 2 off, 2 more to come off. 1 seat for each of us. So fun. So we're working on that. We're working on this craft room space here and working on getting our fencing done. And fingers crossed over the next couple of weeks, we can get all 3 spaces done and kind of have everything where it's going to be. So Philip and I stayed up to the middle of the night, emptying all of the studio stuff, packing it up, getting it ready to be able to be brought up into this room. We did so much work in this room just to get this room prepped to start working on our transformation. So after a whole bunch of puttying, I was not a drywaller in my past life. We have a putty drying on 3 walls. We're losing our daylight in here, so mind that. You can see where I did a little test strip with the yellow here. Philip finished the flooring throughout. So we have our trim outside waiting to be painted. I did a whole bunch of puttying in here, at least the first coat. The inside of the closet was really bad because we had at one point, since we were working in here before a few months ago, taken out a shelf and rail that was in here. It had a bunch of wood trimming that went all the way around. There was some cracking in the wall on this wall, which I'm not overly concerned about because it's just a closet and it's original plaster walls, and I'm not gonna take it all down and drywall it just for the craft room. And then I have all my putty done on this side here around the windows, and I have yet to do the wall behind the TV here because we're just working on getting that taken out. Last night in the middle of the night at about 12:30 a.m., middle of the night, Thursday night into Friday, we had a really awesome creative idea. The boys and I were online looking for some ideas for our new craft room, and we found some peel and stick wallpaper that we were like, oh my goodness, we have to have that, until we saw what the price was. And I vowed to myself I was going to spend $0 making this craft room. So I'm gonna challenge myself to recreate that with paint on the wall, which means that I'm going to revamp my idea of the yellow cabinets to make it match what this faux peel and stick wallpaper is going to be that I'm going to do on the wall. Trust the process. Trust the process. Okay, so we have run out of daylight, so I will show you better when we get to doing some progress tomorrow. But you might remember when we did the living room that we bought a gray paint for the wall and a gray beige color for the living room. That ended up being oops paint because we couldn't commit to it and decided to do white walls. This is one of the gray paint colors. And since we're not spending any money on this room, I decided to make my own color to be able to put as the background of this faux peel and stick wallpaper. So I took some rust orange from our staircase that was left and some of this gray paint here and created this color here, which on camera right now looks very brown and pretty dark, but it's actually a really soft, beautiful kind of clay, corally rust color, much lighter than the staircase. It is absolutely gorgeous. I just think that the lighting in here right now is not doing it justice. But trust me, right now, what we're gonna do, since we're now waiting for putty to dry, is we're going to put together some furniture for this craft room. We were able to have some storage sent to us from Costway. We did our shed collaboration with them and they loved how we transformed and built that and put it together. So they sent me a couple of pieces that they thought I could use for storage for this space and a small work table for the boys and I to do some creating on. So while we're waiting for this putty to dry, we're gonna assemble some of that and get that kind of finished since we're kind of working and waiting for things in this process. We are working on putting together some storage cabinets. Pretty easy to assemble. The materials look great. We're just putting all the runners on. I think this cabinet has drawers on one side, cabinet on the other. We're just working, this is the bottom part here. So we're getting the wheels on. And then we're on to box for storage number 2. So we just stayed up super late and we got these storage cabinets put together and they're great because they're on wheels and they lock. I just have them in the cabinet for right now because this cupboard is obviously all putty, just like the rest of the room. Also, I'm gonna be putting this faux plant in that they sent me. So that's super cute. I'm gonna put it in a really cute basket, but I'm just kind of moving a few things up here to kind of see maybe where I might put things. This would actually be ideal. Maybe a little countertop on top. More shelving here, really make use of this cupboard. And I'm thinking this door is honestly like really intrusive to this small space. So I'm thinking I might take this door off. And of course, it's not gonna be pink. This is the original kind of dusty rose pink color that is from the original room here in this house. But we have these all put together. And honestly, I think it is great. This side here is a magnet cupboard. So that's nice for cupboard storage. I could always put some shelves in it if I wanted to. And then all of these really shallow drawers, which is nice to just be able to like sort things out. And then I could use my Cricut to put some labels on the front, or I could just leave it clean and minimalist like that and just learn exactly where I'm going to be putting everything. But nice deep closet. The sidewalls and kind of this side angle here, because we have the mansard roof, it angles in, so it makes it difficult to put things that are square right against the wall. So I always try to leave a little bit of space. And then you can see my putty is drying really well on this side wall here. So we are about 1 a.m. We've been working all day, have more puttying to do tomorrow, but we're getting there. So by the end of the last 72 hours, we have all of the small animal fencings in the ground. We're ready to now be able to put our cattle fencing and our wood slats around those areas and start working on finishing cutting down the posts for the main paddock area. Going to be a lot of work this week. Hopefully the weather cooperates with us. We emptied the entire studio space downstairs, organized every single item that's going to come upstairs here into the studio room, boxed it all up, and we have it downstairs ready to bring up when this room is finished sanding the drywall. We put together 3 pieces of furniture and set up the full plant that Costway sent for us to be able to put into this space. We did some color testing on the walls, made sure that we could bring this idea to life on what we wanted to do. We had the delivery for the main focal point item that's going to be in the boys' game room, movie room. And that room is now completely ready for us to start prepping for painting, doing our accent wall, and all the things we're going to do to transform that space. So we've had a busy last 72 hours. So let me know what you think. We have a lot going on this week, so you're gonna wanna make sure that if you're not already subscribed, that you're subscribed, turn on your notification bell, leave us a comment down below to show your support. Cheer us on this week. We're gonna need all the cheering we can get if we're gonna get these things all accomplished before I head off for my surgery. So this is gonna be just like the most insane 3 weeks. And if that is done on our to-do list, we have lots of other things we need to get to in the meantime. So I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on tomorrow's episode.